Thanks, David. How are you?
I'm great. It's Monday.
Yes. Yes. Your favorite Monday.
I was even asking, who even named Monday?
Monday. Even if it wasn't named Monday, you still dread Monday because it's the start of the week.
Indeed.
But still, as I always say, Monday is for opportunity. So I think let's make the most of the Monday.
You just run us through the numbers.
So last week was a slower week. Remember last week we had a holiday. Last week was Farmers' Day on Monday. I know most of us were at the agriculture and commerce. So last week was a slightly slower week. The turnover was 24 million, so it was down from the previous week. So again, we're attributing this to the shorter trading week that we had. Chilanga Cement led in the value traded, so the total value of what was traded, it contributed to 61% of that turnover. Then CEC with 21%, then Zanaco with 13%. So those were your, in terms of value of what was traded, those are the top three companies. So they also topped the volume, also the number of shares which were traded. Those three companies also took the top three spots, with Zanaco though at 39%, Chilanga Cement at 36%, and then CEC at 16%. So the really funny number, the fun number, the all-share index, I always call it that because again, it's just an indicator of how the market is moving up or down. So it rose by 1.1% last week, so it closed at 21,524.31 points. So British American Tobacco, your gainers for the week, it gained by 19%, that's a big jump, so it closed at 8 kwacha 50 ngwe. Zamefa moved by 7% and ended at 16 kwacha. Airtel increased to 2% and it hit the 100 kwacha mark. And on the downside, the stocks which fell last week, Chilanga Cement fell by 2% and is now at 30 kwacha 3 ngwe. And Zambeef slipped 1% and it's now 1 kwacha 74 ngwe. So those are the numbers. I thought today, before I give you a little bit of an explanation, I'll take you through the share prices, how it closed last week, because I think that's also important information that people should know. So I'll go through all the stocks fairly quickly. So AECI Explosives, they closed at 70 kwacha. Airtel closed at 100 kwacha last week. Bata closed at 6 kwacha. British American Tobacco Zambia closed at 8 kwacha 15 ngwe. CEC closed at 23 kwacha 73 ngwe. Chilanga closed at 30 kwacha 3 ngwe. Madison closed at 1 kwacha 80 ngwe. National Breweries closed at 3 kwacha. Pamozi, which is now quoted, it closed at 4 kwacha 94. Puma closed at 4 kwacha 57. Standard Chartered closed at 2 kwacha 72. Shoprite closed at 350 kwacha. Zambian Breweries closed at 6 kwacha 90 ngwe. ZCCM closed at 130 kwacha. Zambia Reinsurance closed at 2 kwacha 60 ngwe. Zambeef closed at 1 kwacha 74 ngwe. Zamefa closed at 16 kwacha. Zanaco closed at 5 kwacha 97 ngwe. Zambia Sugar closed at 41 kwacha 86 ngwe. Zafico closed at 3 kwacha 57, and the Raise USD REIT closed at 9 cents. Okay, so those are the numbers for last week. That's what they closed on. So that will help us now sort of figure out where we're going to start off with this week.
Indeed. Well, those are quite interesting numbers, and looking at how the market has been of late. And today, aren't you asking me how I'm progressing with my
that was my next question, because remember we're using it as a public example. So how are you progressing with the application?
Well, surprisingly, I'm done with the registration. I'm in the app now.
And how straightforward was it? Just took long?
It was straightforward. Yeah,
okay,
I think I was the one complicating issues.
Yes, it was very straightforward.
But I must say it's something that's straightforward. You just enter your details. And so we're just waiting on, I was just confused on the issue where you have to select a broker. And the other question is, after I buy shares, for example, for maybe 50, what is next?
Okay, great. So for the broker, straightforward. You already picked a broker at registration, so you can use that same broker in the app. So it'll give you, when you're buying or selling, it'll ask you to pick the broker. You can pick the same one. The brokers on our app are registered and licensed also by the LUCE. So they are vetted and they do what they're supposed to do, right? So those are, you can pick any one of them. It's up to you. It's up to your preference. I can't pick. So that's on that one. In terms of, okay, so now you've gotten, you're in the app, you're ready to go, you're ready to buy shares. You then top up your wallet either with Airtel Money, MTN Money, or through your bank card or credit card. You can top up your wallet. Once you do that, as you said, okay, you've got the money, now you want to buy shares. Okay, straightforward. So when you're buying shares, the idea obviously is that you want to grow your wealth and you want to grow what you have and make it more, right? So the idea is that when you buy these shares, you remember the prices I talked about just now, which I just went through. Those are the prices per share for each one of these companies. So if you want to buy, for example, in National Breweries at 3 kwacha, right? That's what we said it is. If you want to buy 1 share, it's 3 kwacha. If you want to buy 10 shares, it's going to be 30 kwacha. That will be the value of your transaction. So when you're buying these shares, you sort of go into the application and when you open it, you pick which stock you want to buy. You can ask a broker or financial advisor who is licensed by the SEC in terms of financial advisory. Where can I start? Where can I go in? Or you can do it yourself if you've done your research. Entirely up to you. Open, you say, okay, let me buy stocks in National Breweries. Example, for 10 of them for 30 kwacha, you place that order. It's a buy order. Remember, you're putting a buy order in the market. You want to buy shares in the market. Once you do that, there are fees which we will get from you. The SEC, the regulator, LUCE, and the broker will get fees, right? But that will all be calculated within that sum. And the fees are very minimal. I'll give an example. 500 kwacha, if you do an investment with 500 kwacha, let's say, right? The amount of money that you spend there, the commission which you pay to us, the 3 of us who I mentioned, LUCE, the broker, and SEC, it's only 1.375% of that transaction, which is about 6 kwacha, something. So you're just giving us 6, the 3 of us altogether, you're giving us 6 kwacha, and your investment is 500 kwacha. So it's quite minimal. Obviously, the bigger your transaction size, the more. But for smaller transactions, especially for the retail investors, it is quite affordable. So once you do that, you put the buy order in the market, you click and it goes through. Then you're like, okay, when I do this, I'm buying shares, right? I'm going to make money by either dividends or capital gain. Remember when we were seeing now capital gain, when we were seeing prices going up, going down? So when they go up, you're gaining, into your value of your shares are gaining, right? If you've bought shares. Today it's 3 kwacha, tomorrow it's 3 kwacha 15. Means the value of your shares now has increased. So if I sell higher, it means I made a profit. That's how you also make. That's how you make the money. So when you buy and then you see a price increasing in a particular stock, you can sell those shares at that particular price. It means you've made that gain, right? The other way is through dividends. Companies pay dividends to their shareholders. Again, it's at the discretion of the board. So once they pay these dividends, they usually quote it per share. So, we're giving you end of financial year, as we've done our books, this is how much profit we have. We're going to give you a part of that profit as shareholders. So they'll tell you, okay, for every share that you have in our company, we'll give you. If you've got 1,000 shares in that company, you get 1,000 kwacha dividend, tax-free. So that's another way. So that's how people do it. So, but the more you invest, the more benefits you get from it, right? There's some companies who do capital gain very well, they'll grow. There's some companies who give dividends very well. So if you measure yourself and do well in aligning your portfolio.
Indeed, all I have to say is, what's not to panda when we're just in the market.
Yes, yes.
I think it's something that is nice.
It is. And I think once you get a feel of it, I think you understand the dynamics of the market, you'll be good to go. So next week we'll hear. Next update.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Lina, for coming through.
Thank you very much.
All right, you are still watching the Millennium Breakfast Show right here. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.